Tomorrow, the 14th of April 2026, the astrological architecture of our reality undergoes a massive, foundational reset, characterized by an explosion of forward-moving, uncompromising fire. We are standing at the exact threshold of a cosmic ignition. On this specific day, we bear witness to two monumental planetary shifts that share the exact same raw, aggressive, and pioneering elemental signature of cardinal fire. First, in Western astrology, Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, data processing, and the transmission of ideas, aggressively kicks down the door and enters the cardinal fire sign of Aries. Simultaneously, and perhaps even more profoundly, in the ancient system of Vedic astrology, April 14 marks Mesha Sankranti, the exact moment the sun transits into Aries. In the Vedic system, this is not just a transit, it is the astrological new year, and the sun in Aries is considered to be in its state of absolute exaltation. This means the sun, the core of our vitality, our ego, and our soul's ultimate purpose, is operating at its maximum possible strength, dignity, and power. This specific date, the 14th of April 2026, is an energetic mandate from the universe to stop planning, stop hesitating, and start executing. It is a day that completely incinerates the stagnant energy of the past and demands radical, immediate, and unapologetic action. The heavy, emotional fog of previous days is entirely vaporized by the blinding, exalted light of the Aries sun and the piercing, rapid-fire intellect of Mercury. By understanding the profound mechanics of these two fiery transits, you can consciously harness this immense, high-voltage energy to radically transform your identity, cut through the noise to discover the absolute truth, and pioneer your way to unprecedented levels of wealth and digital authority. To fully comprehend the sheer magnitude of the 14th of April 2026, we must first deeply examine the entry of the sun into Aries, known as Mesha Sankranti. In astrology, the sun is the sovereign. It represents your core identity, your life force, your confidence, and the undeniable truth of who you are when all the external layers are stripped away. Aries, the first sign of the Zodiac, is represented by the Ram. It is the archetype of the warrior, the pioneer, the initiator, and the fearless leader who charges headfirst into the unknown. When the sun enters Aries, it is exalted. Imagine a king who has been wandering through the confusing, emotional, and self-sacrificing waters of Pisces for the past month, suddenly returning to his throne room, putting on his crown, and drawing his sword. That is the energy of April 14. This exalted sun primarily and overwhelmingly impacts the human aspect of radical self-transformation. This transit does not support slow, methodical, or gentle changes. It demands a sudden, forceful, and complete realization of your own personal power. For months, or perhaps even years, you may have been playing small. You may have allowed imposter syndrome, the fear of judgment, or a lack of clarity to keep you standing safely on the sidelines of your own life. You may have allowed others to dictate your narrative, your branding, or your creative output. Tomorrow, the exalted sun in Aries burns those self-imposed limitations to the ground. You are being called to step into the blinding spotlight and claim absolute authority over your existence. This is a day to look in the mirror and decide, with finality, who you are going to be moving forward. The universe is heavily favoring bold declarations of self. The transformation available to you tomorrow is one of becoming fiercely independent, entirely self-reliant, and courageously authentic. Simultaneously, as the sun exalts your physical and spiritual vitality, Mercury enters the exact same fiery territory of Aries. Mercury is the planet of the mind. It governs how we think, how we process complex information, how we formulate our ideas, and crucially, how we communicate those ideas to the world. When Mercury operates in the aggressive, fast-paced sign of Aries, the human mind accelerates to an astonishing speed. The filter between the brain and the mouth is entirely removed. Communication becomes a spear direct, pointed, and designed to hit the target without any unnecessary flourishing or diplomatic softening. This transit profoundly impacts the human experience of discovering the truth. Mercury in Aries has zero tolerance for deception, manipulation, or passive-aggressive behavior. On the 14th of April 2026, the truth will not be revealed gently. It will be blurted out, declared boldly, and weaponized to cut through any lingering confusion. You will suddenly find that you no longer have the patience for prolonged, circular conversations or situations that lack clarity. If someone is withholding the truth, the aggressive intellectual energy of tomorrow will compel you to demand it directly. More importantly, this transit forces you to be brutally honest with yourself. You will be able to instantly identify the excuses you have been using to delay your own success. When your mind operates with the speed and precision of Mercury in Aries, the truth becomes undeniable, and the path forward becomes crystal clear. You will realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is the execution of your ideas. When we deeply analyze the profound cosmic architecture of tomorrow, combining the exalted, fiercely identity-driven sun with the rapid-fire, commanding communicative power of Mercury in the cardinal fire sign of Aries, the implications for your wealth trajectory, your career dominance, and your creative output are nothing short of staggering. This is the exact moment where the abstract concept of wealth generation leaves the realm of daydreaming and takes absolute center stage in your waking reality. Wealth, under the relentless and pioneering influence of Aries, is fundamentally redefined. It is not something to be accumulated slowly, timidly, or through cautious, passive saving over decades. In this celestial climate, wealth is actively hunted, fiercely captured, and generated entirely through bold, pioneering action and an absolute, unshakable confidence in your own sovereign value. Tomorrow serves as the ultimate, undeniable cosmic green light for radical entrepreneurship and taking the undisputed lead in your chosen industry. If you have been hesitating in the shadows, waiting for some mythical perfect time to launch a new project, to publicly state a polarizing opinion, or to aggressively claim your territory in the market, April 14 is that definitive day. Specifically, this fiery astrological alignment acts as an absolute powerhouse of energetic support for anyone heavily involved in modern digital creation, high-level YouTube broadcasting, immersive visual storytelling, or building an inescapable, magnetic brand identity. The exalted sun in Aries strictly demands that your brand, which is your digital face and your energetic signature to the world, must be exceedingly bold, utterly uncompromising, and distinctly, unapologetically yours. You cannot afford to blend into the background or mimic the safe strategies of others. Whether you are developing an English language channel focused on mystical subjects like astrology or producing gripping, emotionally resonant audio stories, Mercury in Aries provides the rapid, razor-sharp intellectual processing power required to execute this grand vision flawlessly. Tomorrow is the absolute perfect day to lock yourself in a quiet room, sit down, and write those high-impact, potentially viral video scripts that you have been endlessly putting off out of perfectionism. The Aries energy intensely supports a style of writing that is punchy, highly authoritative, and deeply engaging. Your words need to act like a cinematic hook, perfectly tailored to capture and aggressively hold the fragmented attention of an audience within the very first few critical seconds of a broadcast. You will not struggle with the sluggish, heavy burden of writer's block tomorrow. Instead, your primary challenge will simply be typing fast enough to keep up with the overwhelming torrent of brilliant, highly monetizable ideas that will be rapidly flooding your conscious mind. Furthermore, this immense energy translates perfectly into the highly technical realm of digital artistry. If you utilize advanced, cutting-edge tools in your daily creative process, such as commanding artificial intelligence to generate highly specific visual styles, breathtakingly realistic media, or complex, multi-layered narratives, tomorrow's cosmic energy is unparalleled in its support. Mercury in the sign of the warrior is the absolute archetype of the master prompt engineer. To extract the most magnificent results from the universe, and simultaneously from the sophisticated AI generation tools you command, you must learn to communicate exactly like Mercury in Aries. You must use forceful, active verbs, entirely remove all weak, passive language, and be ruthlessly specific about your exact demands. You must know exactly what visual or narrative outcome you expect down to the smallest detail. Demand minimalist, formal outfits for your characters if that suits your overarching vision. Explicitly instruct the system to strip away all unwanted text, distracting logos, or unnecessary background elements to maintain absolute visual focus. The universe itself, much like a highly advanced, infinitely powerful generative AI system, will respond instantly, accurately, and generously to the bold, remarkably clear directives you issue on April 14. Your spoken and written words tomorrow are not just simple lines of text. They are the literal, tangible architectural blueprints for your future financial empire. By fiercely claiming your authentic voice, by defining your visual and auditory brand with sharp, unyielding precision, and by communicating your immense value without even a fraction of a hint of hesitation, you transform yourself into a tremendously powerful magnet for financial abundance. The energetic law of this transit is simple but profound. Money invariably follows speed, and money magnetically follows unshakable confidence. On the 14th of April 2026, you have unlimited, unrestricted access to the absolute highest frequencies of both. Do not waste this fire. Speak your reality into existence, hit publish on your grandest visions, and boldly claim the monumental success that is rightfully yours. Drawing upon this massive influx of fiery, cardinal energy, the universe delivers very specific, highly urgent messages regarding how you must manage your vitality, protect your physical health, and aggressively attract money. Regarding your vital energy, the message is one of ignition and momentum. The exalted sun acts as a massive cosmic battery, flooding your system with raw, unfiltered life force. You will likely wake up on April 14 feeling a sudden, intense surge of motivation, a physical restlessness, and a burning desire to move. The universe is telling you to channel this fire immediately. Do not let this energy stagnate. If you sit still tomorrow, this high-voltage energy will quickly turn into irritability, frustration, and unnecessary arguments. You must give this energy a target. Direct this massive vitality entirely into your most ambitious projects, your creative writing, and the physical execution of your goals. However, when it comes to your physical health, the message from this double Aries transit comes with a strict warning. Aries rules the head, the brain, the eyes, and the central nervous system. Because both the sun, vitality, and Mercury, the mind, are simultaneously supercharging this area of your body, there is a very high risk of mental burnout, severe tension, headaches, eye strain, and adrenal fatigue if you do not manage the heat. Your mind will be racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. The message here is to balance the fire with conscious cooling practices. While you must take massive action, you must also remember to physically breathe. Hydrate excessively with cold water throughout the day to literally cool the physical system. Do not consume excessive amounts of caffeine tomorrow. The planets are already providing more than enough artificial stimulation, and adding more will only cause your nervous system to short-circuit. If you feel a headache building or your anxiety spiking from the sheer speed of your thoughts while staring at your editing timelines, physically step away from your screens, close your eyes, and take deep, slow breaths to ground the electricity running through your brain. Protect your physical vessel so it can sustain the massive upgrades your soul is undergoing. The message concerning wealth and money on the 14th of April 2026 is blunt and straightforward. Fortune heavily favors the bold, the fast, and the first. The universe is practically shouting that hesitation is the enemy of prosperity. Wealth tomorrow does not come to those who overthink, to those who ask for permission, or to those who wait for perfect conditions. Wealth comes to the pioneer. It comes to the creator who hits publish before they feel completely ready. It comes to the digital visionary who trusts their rapid-fire intuition to craft a compelling video title, a magnetic algorithmic description, and a bold visual thumbnail that cuts through the noise of the platform. The financial message of the day is to trust your immediate instincts. If an idea for a new revenue stream, a new story, or a new piece of digital media flashes into your mind, act on it within the hour. Do not let the spark die. The universe is aligning to reward speed to market, unapologetic self-promotion, and the courage to stand out from the crowd. To physically ground these profound, high-speed astrological energies and ensure that the 14th of April 2026 is a day of tangible victory, you must implement highly specific, strategic, and actionable steps. Action is the only language that Aries understands. Begin your morning with a physical ignition. As soon as you wake up, do not lie in bed scrolling through the achievements of others. Get up immediately. Engage in a fast, blood-pumping physical exercise to clear the sleep from your head, and then sit directly at your workspace. Your first major action of the day should utilize the Exalted Sunday. Take a pen and paper or open a blank document and write down a bold, definitive declaration of exactly who you are and what you are building. Write your mission statement. Define your brand identity without any modesty or self-deprecation. State your goals as if they are already hard facts. In the afternoon, shift your focus entirely to the Mercury in Aries energy of rapid execution and sharp communication. This is your prime execution window. Dedicate this time to intense, highly focused creative output. Write the scripts that you have been delaying. Formulate the complex prompts required to generate the specific visual assets and media for your ongoing projects. Draft the emails, make the pitches, and record the content. Do not edit while you create today. Let the pure, unfiltered fire of your ideas pour onto the page or the screen. Editing is for later. Today is for raw, voluminous generation. If you are managing a YouTube channel or a digital platform, take decisive action to optimize your presence. Write punchy, aggressive titles that demand attention. Cut the fluff out of your descriptions. Ensure your visual branding is striking, clear, and commands immediate authority. Finally, as the evening approaches, your actionable advice is to forcibly power down the machine. Because your brain has been operating at maximum capacity all day, you will struggle to sleep if you do not actively initiate a decompression protocol. Turn off your screens at least 2 hours before bed. The blue light will only aggravate the Aries energy focused in your head. Write down all the lingering, racing thoughts in your mind onto a piece of paper to physically get them out of your brain. Acknowledge the massive amount of work you accomplished and consciously give yourself permission to rest. You have planted the seeds of your empire today through sheer force of will. Now you must let the fire cool. While the intense, high-speed cosmic weather of tomorrow electrifies every single individual on the planet, there are 3 specific zodiac signs that stand at the absolute epicenter of these planetary shifts. For these 3 signs, the 14th of April 2026 is a day of monumental empowerment, massive creative output, and undeniable personal victory. The very first and most profoundly impacted sign is, without question, Aries. Tomorrow is your absolute cosmic rebirth, Aries. With the sun, the ultimate source of life, entering your sign in its state of highest exaltation, and Mercury, the planet of the mind, joining it, you are the undisputed sovereign of the Zodiac. On the 14th of April 2026, all the confusion, the delays, and the energetic heavy lifting of the past few weeks are instantly vaporized. You are stepping back into your absolute, unmitigated power. You will feel an incredible, almost overwhelming surge of physical vitality and mental clarity. The universe is handing you the microphone and the steering wheel. The profound transformation you experience today involves completely shedding any lingering doubts about your capabilities. You are remembering exactly who you are, a pioneer, a warrior, and an unstoppable force of nature. Your mind will be sharper than a scalpel tomorrow, allowing you to articulate your grandest visions with terrifying precision. Your actionable advice, Aries, is to be entirely selfish with your energy tomorrow. Do not compromise, do not apologize for your ambition, and do not slow down to wait for anyone else to catch up. Launch the project, start the channel, demand the promotion, and claim your territory. The universe is heavily biased in your favor. Use this exalted energy to build the foundation of your empire. The second zodiac sign destined for a massive, high-impact experience on the 14th of April 2026 is Leo. You are a fire sign, entirely ruled by the Sunday. Therefore, when your ruling planet enters its state of absolute exaltation in fellow fire sign Aries, your entire being is illuminated and supercharged. Leo, tomorrow is a day of unparalleled creative explosion and massive public visibility. The Aries energy falls perfectly into the sector of your chart that governs self-expression, joy, storytelling, and the things you create to leave a legacy. You are naturally dramatic and deeply creative, but tomorrow, that creativity is infused with the bold, pioneering, and aggressive intellectual power of Mercury in Aries. Your ideas will be groundbreaking. This is the absolute best day of the year for you to broadcast your talents to the world. If you are involved in writing stories, creating video content, generating digital media, or managing a public persona, the universe is providing you with a massive cosmic spotlight. The truth you discover about yourself tomorrow, Leo, is that your voice is deeply needed and that your creative output holds immense tangible value. Do not hide your light. Speak your mind boldly, share your art unapologetically, and allow the exalted sun to magnify your magnetic presence. You have the power to attract massive audiences and significant wealth simply by being the loudest, proudest, and most authentic version of yourself tomorrow. The third sign that will experience a profound and thrilling shift on the 14th of April 2026 is Gemini. Mercury is your ruling planet, and therefore its aggressive, fast-paced ingress into the cardinal fire of Aries profoundly dictates your experience of the day. Gemini, your mind is always active, always processing, and always seeking new information. However, tomorrow, your intellectual processing speed is upgraded to a supercomputer level. The Aries fire burns away your usual tendency to overthink, to hesitate, or to get lost in a sea of endless options. Tomorrow, you are gifted with the power of supreme, decisive focus. You will know exactly what you want to say and exactly how to say it to achieve maximum impact. This transit heavily influences your ability to network, to persuade, and to command the digital space. You will find that you can write scripts, generate ideas, and articulate complex concepts faster than ever before. The transformation you undergo on April 14 is one of intellectual authority. You are stepping out of the role of the curious student and into the role of the decisive thought leader. Your actionable advice, Gemini, is to use this mental fire to execute the projects you have been conceptualizing. Write the bold titles, craft the demanding prompts for your digital tools, and send the important communications. Your words have the power to cut through reality and manifest immediate, lucrative results tomorrow. In conclusion, the 14th of April 2026 is a day of monumental cosmic initiation. It is the astrological New Year in the Vedic system, a day when the exalted sun and the rapid-fire mind of Mercury converge in the pioneering sign of Aries to demand our absolute best. It is a day that rejects passivity, incinerates doubt, and heavily rewards those who are brave enough to speak the unvarnished truth and take immediate, unapologetic action. By consciously embracing this fiery vitality, managing our physical energy wisely, and executing our visions with the speed and precision of a warrior, we can utilize the extraordinary planetary alignments of this specific day to radically transform our identities, dominate our chosen fields, and pioneer our way to unshakable wealth and success. Step into the fire of tomorrow with your head held high, your mind sharp, and your spirit absolutely ready to conquer.